Hi friends, Andre here, and I have a new best mascot for the Best of Mount Shasta, and I'm here with good news to say that we're going to have the Best of Mount Shasta Conference and Festival this summer over Labor Day, and it's going to be online, so that's a new thing. This is our new mascot. As you know, everybody knew Ginger, that was here from the very beginning and was here every year, and people loved Ginger, and she truly rose to being the mascot and front and center, and I was so pleased for all of that. Now we have Rowan, and Ginger had been part of the very beginning, which was the Best of Mount Shasta ribbon cutting ceremony, and we had that many years ago. This is when I first came up here in 2007, 2008. I didn't know anybody. And these were the first people I met. I just went around and found out, who were the local teachers up here, the local spiritual teachers. And I found what a wonderful, wonderful group of people. And that's how the Best of Mount Shasta started, was to be able to interview them and have them be presenters for the Best of Mount Shasta. Because what I found when I would come up here years before is I did the mountain like everybody else. I did the nature spots like every other visitor to the area. And I went downtown and then went home again. But I never met this group of people. So that's how the Best of Mount Shasta started. And what I want to do today is go over the points of what's necessary to get it started. That's why I have this note sheet, to make sure I cover everything in a timely manner. But we're going to have it a Zoom online meeting, and that was kind of in the making a couple of years ago, because I'm 76 now, and I was doing 85% of the work every year, and it was just too much for me. So I was thinking about making it an online conference, and then along came the pandemic. And what's really interesting about that is people around the world are used to using Zoom and using online and for schools and everything. So for us to go online this year, we'll be right in the groove of what's happening. But also, people have always asked through the years, I want to come to the Best of Mount Shasta. I live in outside the country, or I live somewhere around the country, and I don't have the time to come or don't have the money to come. So that was always an issue that we were never able to solve. So this way we'll be able to solve that now. And if you're interested to getting involved, there's going to be the presenters, there's going to be vendors online and music online, and the volunteers. And you can always reach me through the Best of Mount Shasta at gmail.com or through Facebook Messenger for my name, and also we have a page up there for the Best of Mount Shasta. And what we're going to offer is a format where it's going to be over Labor Day weekend. The format will have not just presenters, but we will also be able to include vendors like we used to have. Now, it won't be like that where we had the booths outside somewhere, but each vendor will have a web page within our website where they can say what they're offering during the conference, and maybe give a discount or something like that to get their name known and be able to draw people over to their website. So we want very much to have the vendors involved in that this year, so that they're part of it. And we're also going to have music this year too, because usually we had the music outdoors in the, I think it was like a pavilion is what they called it at the city park. And we can't do that, but we will have, just like we have slots for the presenters, we'll have slots for musicians, so that people get to know the musicians in our area, because that was always a popular part of the conference and festival, where people could relax, be outside, be talking with one another, and then get to be familiar with who are the musicians in the area, what is their message, what are they saying. A lot of it's the spiritual people, and a lot of it's every other venue as well. And people really love the musicians in our area, so we want to make a spot for that. What we're going to be doing is in the next 2 weeks putting it all together. I may have a person who can do the Zoom meeting for us. If not, I'm looking for someone who can do the setup for the Zoom and be there for the full Zoom 4 days and record the event, and we have all of that available. We're also going to have the workshops online. Here you saw that we had, anywhere from 10, 15, 20 people to 200 people. We think that online will actually have more people because more people will have access to it than could have had before. So that's an important feature of what we're going to be offering. We're going to have for each presenter on the website their own web page. So you'll have a picture of yourself, you'll have a biography, and you'll have all the links that you want to have. You could have a couple of pictures, not too many, but maybe you want to, you'll see in a moment, there's a chance for doing an interview in TV broadcast quality. Maybe you'll want that on your web page. So we want to make it enticing, exciting, inviting for people that are looking through the websites that want to see which session that they want to go to. The first day of the event, we're going to have each presenter speak for about 10 minutes on what they're going to be offering during the conference, so that people from afar who've always wanted to come but don't know the people will be able to see the people first, see what they're offering, and then choose, if they can't go to all the sessions, which session that they want to attend. So we're going to have, in the next couple of weeks, make up an application for presenters, vendors, and musicians. And we're going to send out, a reminder of what we need for each of those pages. We're also going to have a page for volunteers. So each of them has a page, and they talk about what they're doing to help us. We need help in actually everything you need for putting together an event that's not on site, but it's online. These were two wonderful volunteers that we had that, oh my gosh, if we get them again, they were just there and helped out, mainly with registration. But in this case, we're going to have the, people register for tickets online. But the needs for the volunteers are people to help with the web pages, people to, we've had mailing lists of 5,000 to 7,000 people that we need to kind of reorganize, and it's kind of fallen to the wayside a bit. So we need people to handle that. We need people to do press releases. We need people to find sponsors, because that's where the money comes up front to put the event together. People who help us find the sponsors can get 15% of what the sponsors give to us. So that's an enticing thing for people that are good at speaking to vendors. This is, as you know, Josie Ann and Antoinette and Joanne Cherry, and they have been presenters. And I just did an interview with Joanna Cherry that's on our YouTube channel for the Best of Mt Shasta. And I tell you, she's like 80 years old now. She's been here 35 years. And what she's discovering within her own growth and development of spirituality is really wonderful. And I hope that she talks about that at the conference. And you'll be able to see the video of her during the interview, where she goes into that to some degree as well. So we definitely want the old presenters who are near and dear to everybody's heart, as well as new people that have come to the area. Anybody who lives in the area that calls Mt Shasta their home. Now, there are people like Ayelet Segal, who lives in Israel and comes and visits Mt Shasta and feels very, very connected to Mt Shasta, Adama, and Telos. So we hope that she'll be a presenter. So being a presenter is open to not only those who live here, but those who are deeply connected with the mountain as well. And there's all kinds of things that you're going to have to know about. The photo size that we need for the interviews is 1920 by 1080. We have all of that I'll be putting on paper. It has to be high quality photos, not thumbnails. and everything like that. So for the volunteers, for the next 2 weeks, we need the Zoom meeting, we need the sponsors, we need the applications put together, the web pages put together, the mailing lists developed, and press releases, and then anything else that you can remember that goes together for putting together any conference or event like this. And then the other thing that I'm really excited about is I've become a producer now at the Siskiyou Media Council. And I kind of was starting up, and then COVID happened, and the Siskiyou Media Council had to close down for that time, and now it's opening up again. But I've been doing interviews with people that have been already aligned with the Best of Mount Shasta as presenters. They're 28 minutes long. The Siskiyou Media Council is the TV broadcasting station for Siskiyou County, the only one. And so they have to be 28-minute interviews, and they as I said, the broadcast quality. When you come for the interview, you bring a USB drive and you get the interview right then and there, and you can use it in any way you want. We will also use it not only on our YouTube channel, we've got a Pinterest, we've got Facebook. Here's this is a fun photo. There's Barbara Norman with her grandson and Ginger. Ginger would roam around outside. That was her happiest moment, when she could meet all the people. And I kind of have a feeling Rowan will be like that. Right now he's got that puppy energy, which is just too much, so I've got to get him trained in time. And then Josiane and Joanna, and then everybody knows dear beloved Barry. So, and I hope you all will be involved in one way or another. And there's just, we've got lots and lots of photos that we will be using from past conferences. So we want to get everybody's name out there, whether you're involved or not this year. And there is a cost for the interviews because myself and the cameraman spend a lot of time in preparation. The cameraman is John Tomlinson, who's been with the Siskiyou Media Council for many, many years now. He's really, really good at all of this. The camera and equipment has all been updated. Everything is really, this is where I am right now. Everything is really quite fantastic. I myself am just sort of learning about it all. But what I've been doing so far is you meet at my home, and we go over the graphics, the titles, and the credits at the end that are personable to you and what you're offering. And then there's, so you have the titles at the beginning and the credits at the end and your interview in between. And then we also ask you to identify some music that you would like to use during the titles and the credits. And you know, it has to be no copyright, free royalty music. I put together this amazing list. Oh my gosh, I spent a long time on it, on where you can find all of that music. And interestingly enough, you can find it throughout YouTube. And so I've put together all that information. So that alone is should be really valuable for you, not just for the interview, but for you know, yourself down the road if you want to start doing that kind of thing for yourself on your own. And then also John needs a cameraman. He's doing everything by himself. So he's running around here, and then he's running back there, and he's running over here, and he's running there. And there should be somebody here who does that, and somebody there who does that, and he does that there. So anybody who wants to be a volunteer for these interviews, right now I have one Sunday a month. I'm hoping to have 2 Sundays a month, and we can do 2 interviews each of those Sundays. So if you're interested in that, sign up right away, and we'll get started on that. I'll use those interviews. You have a 3-minute PSA, like a public service announcement that, you know, you're just talking about who you are and what you're going to offer. And then you'll have the 28-minute one that will go more into depth about what you want to say about your workshop coming up. And we will put that on your webpage. And then we will also put it on Pinterest and all the other social media that is available to us. And you also may want to do the same. So we're really trying to give you the tools that you can use to really get wide exposure and invite people to your presentation. People will be able to sign up for one, sign up for all of them, sign up just for the first day. We're going to make a lot of variations in there so that it accommodates a lot of people's interest. And that is about what I wanted to talk about. Mainly, if you are interested, ideally, I'd like to have people that want the interview and want to be involved as a presenter, vendor, or a volunteer or musician. And sponsor, we need sponsors also. We can do interviews for sponsors. Some sponsors, that's a real nice caveat. But there is that cost for them as well as what they donate. So that's the scoop of it all. I hope it sounds interesting to you. I hope you feel that sort of waking up of yeah, I'd like to be involved, and contact me as early as possible. Again, by Facebook, by Messenger, or thebestamountshasta@gmail.com. And I look really forward to doing this year. It feels really wonderful just to get your name out there, especially after COVID. Everything's kind of been inward. Now it's time to start going outward and give you exposure, let people know who you are. What I really found was interesting, two things from those that from outside the area that would come to the events. Several of them, every year, one or two people ended up moving up here. And they'd never been up here before, but they met the local people, and got to feel comfortable with it. And then secondly, people got to meet the presenters. The presenters were readily available to everybody. They had their own vendor booth. And then people got to decide, I want to explore the teachings of that person. And then when they came back to Mount Shasta, they had somebody that they knew, somebody or people that they could connect with. And I think those are the two most heartwarming features that have come out of these conferences, is that people get a sense of, they're really interested to move here, but they're hesitant because they've never been here. And then they come and they get to meet people and see it, and that everything's, is hunky-dory. And then secondly, that they make friends, and lifelong friends. And it's really, really wonderful to see that, we've started out small and we get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, but we've always retained the friendliness. And every presenter, every musician, every vendor has always been wonderful, and people are really at home up here, and that's exactly what we want to accomplish for you. So give me a buzz. I look forward to hearing all of you, and big, big hugs and big, big love from me and Ginger up wherever she is, and the new Rowan, who's our new mascot. Thank you so much.